Hello. My name is Kara Rice. I am the creator and founder of Brain Connects Therapy, a neurological approach to pediatric treatment with developmental disorders, sensory integration issues, autism, ADHD, a lot of other things. So today I wanted to touch on a topic that I just posted about, childhood anxiety and balance. What they have to do with each other, why it's related to primitive reflexes and brain hemispheric integration, which is what we specialize in, and how it can help your child. So there's this great research study done on children, young children, 5 to 7 years old, that were diagnosed with anxiety disorders. All of the children with anxiety disorders had a balance problem, every single one. But balance problems don't mean that your child has anxiety. So it doesn't go both ways. So every child, they implemented a 12-week physical program using occupational therapy, which is what I am, an occupational therapist. And doing these program, they ended up not just fixing, but improving the children's balance, and all of their anxiety levels went back to normal. So isn't that amazing? So something so important she stated in the research article, the researcher, was that these young children, 5 to 7 years old, can't do like cognitive talk type therapy at that age for anxiety because they don't have the cognitive wherewithal yet. They're not even developed that far yet to understand what they'd be talking about. But they can be helped through physical movement. And why is that? It's because physical movement changes the nervous system. Movement changes the brain. So the brain responds to movement from sensory experiences throughout your life, from movement throughout your life, and that's how things change and develop. And we know that from our level of hierarchy within the brain, where we have our primitive reflexes very first. If that foundation of primitive reflexes is not intact and not fully integrated, we're going to see little issues as we progress and as we develop as a child. And then we have our sensory systems too, the vestibular system, tactile, auditory, and this is where balance can start to play into this too, as well as with postural reflexes. Sorry, I'm looking at some notes. Some postural reflexes that come about after our primitive reflexes are integrated. So when you don't have good balance, your vestibular system's off. Typically, you could have some issues visual or auditory because they're all housed very close together. And I want you to think of this example. A young child, let's say they're 6 years old, in that age range, who trips a lot, maybe bumps into people in the hallway or on the playground, or, just is a little bit uncoordinated, is what you'd say, right? If you just looked at them from the outside in. And what they're doing is their body is literally constantly thinking, the child might not know this, might not be thinking it, but unconsciously or subconsciously, their body is really thinking about, where do I need to put my foot? Like, what is out there? They're visually scanning the environment constantly. Whereas you and I, we can do that like super fast because our body's used to it. We have good intact systems. And we're able to just move around a crowded environment without bumping into people or falling over or tripping. But if your child has not fully developed their primitive reflexes or has not fully developed their vestibular system or other sensory systems, there can be an issue. And when a child is so focused on how their body moves, they can't do higher level things like look you in the eye. They can't do things like social interaction. They might be think back to your high school days. Weren't there some uncoordinated kids? And they were the awkward ones, right? They weren't socially inept and they weren't on any of the teams. They were a little bit off to the side. They were great people, super smart, like amazing people. But they just didn't have that social ability that other kids do. And I really do think if they had therapy to help improve their balance, improve their sensory systems, integrate their reflexes, they could have bounced back and gotten a little bit stronger socially and emotionally like that. So it's amazing that this research shows physical movement and development actually changes anxiety. So when I get back to our young child who's bumping in the hallways and doesn't understand social cues because they're so concentrated on what their body's doing, they're going to have anxiety. right? Like if I had to like think about where I'm walking all the time, like how you are in a crowded mall and you do kind of have to think about it. If you had that feeling all the time, you'd be anxious. You'd be nervous. You'd be wondering what's going on, what's going to happen next, what's that loud noise, what's this, what's that, versus having all those sensory systems integrated, all the reflexes integrated, and you're able to function at a higher level. Once all those things are in play, then you can have language, you can have better perception, you can have those higher level cognitive skills. So what we do here at Brain Connects Therapy works with this as well. We work with kids through movement. We teach parents how to work with kids through movement. We teach them the primitive reflexes. We teach them how to integrate the brain hemispheres, right versus left, because sometimes one hemisphere is a lot stronger than the other. And as we strengthen the other one, then we find more balance in the system. So we use movement to change the nervous system, which changes the brain. Isn't that amazing? So instead of, compensating for these things like wearing headphones when you, hear loud noises, we actually are going to fix the problem in the brain. Not that there's a problem, but just fix the underdevelopment. That's what I'd like to say. So very interesting research. Check out we're going to put the research down below in this blog post. And then also we have it on our social media accounts, Instagram.com/Brain Connects Therapy, and on Facebook, Brain Connects Therapy as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and let me know your thoughts. Have a great day.